what the fuck?
A long time ago, in a distant time of 2023, the Steam Summer Sale popped off. Being a monkey that I am, I decided to compulsively purchase a bunch of games without thinking. I ended up playing a game called AKIBA's Trip. It's one of those anime games. I do not judge people for playing anime games. I am a fan of anime myself, but it's one of those anime games, and I do not like those anime games. I condemn them. I call this the Gooner game for Gooners, made by probably Gooners themselves. In the year of our Gooner, 2020X, we decided to delve into the world of this Gooner game. You're generic anime hero number 1, and you accidentally stumble upon a vampire ditty party via Craigslist. These vampires, or synthesizers as they call them, have been feeding on the people of AKIBA. These vampires come out in daylight as long as they have clothes on. You must strip your enemies to submission. Oh my god, the title is a play on words. But don't get caught lacking yourself. Since you're only half an opium vampist and you achieve enlightenment by beating women and sexually assaulting people in broad daylight, the only missing link is the missing father figure that leaves to go get milk in AKIBA and only to come back in your kid's life once they made a D1 career in the good old realm of Fortnite. The narrative starts out with you getting diddled by a vampire. You wake up in the promise of getting paid with hentai figurines dipped in unknown oozing liquid strapped in a jar. After being rescued, it's time to introduce your ass to combat. Combat consists of mashing a button corresponding with the separate articles of clothing your enemy has on. After getting donut holed by a vampire goon lord, you are offered blood to be saved and become half a goon vampire. Mouth to mouth, oh hell yeah! After escaping 5 nights at Diddy's, we are introduced to the smartphone mechanic, where I thank all the gods of the 9 realms that you cannot get any phone calls from this thing.
Don't ask how I got this number. We met a while ago, I think.
The smartphone allows you to scroll through a mock version of Twitter for some interesting world-building lore, which there's also emails as well, and this is where you can activate side quests and the main quest. Finally, you broke free to the streets of AKIBA, where you can uppercut people in their underwear, go shopping for equipment with your partner, and do subquests to gain more money to fund your Gooner hentai adventure. My first order of business was to convince an NPC to stave off of BL novels. Yaoi fanatic. Ah, I get it now. I gotta tell her to stop gooning up to 2D men. Easier said than done. She gets so emotional after I tell her to stop gooning for our goon lord. Unfortunately, the situation did get out of line. Let's just say this battle will echo into generations of weeaboo gooners. The situation got so out of hand that the police had to get involved with their batons. My DNA celestial ancestry, my blood instinctively, had the urge to resist the po-po. I ended up getting caught and paying a fine. I don't know how to avoid the police in this game, so I guess I'll just deal with it. Which sucks because that was all the money I had in my pocket, so now I gotta do more side gigs. After getting cornered by a size double D lady, she tells us that she invented an application to detect vampires via the phone camera. Now, this thing is pretty cool. I feel like the motherfucking Terminator with this thing. It scans people and shows me what they have in their inventory. It took me a while to understand how it really worked because I failed to read, and that's why I make YouTube videos now. Like and subscribe. This game definitely has that we have Persona at Home vibes, minus the complex characters and relationships you can have in the game. It's more relegated to the main character of AKIBA Trip is equivalent to a prepubescent teenager who just discovered puberty, and anime like Elfen Lied, Berserk, and Neon Genesis Evangelion, one that watches short edits of pop culture Hollywood movies while pondering outside on a gloomy rainy day listening to The Smiths. Finally figure out how to properly navigate through AKIBA. Also, I finally discovered the ability to read, and I can finally follow a narrative within the side missions. All these locations are real locations, apparently. I am not affiliated with anything that's advertised. Taito Station is kind of fire though. I've been to one of their locations before, many times. The side missions I started off with was particularly interesting and chaotic fun. We are tasked to ensure peace is maintained during a grand opening event by the owner of a local electronics store. Basically, crowd controls our game, and stripping is our name. I have to say, this was a hell of a lot of fun. There's even a mission that parodies Romeo and Juliet. We have to intervene the Montagues and Capulets, while the Japanese counterparts in a big giant feud, which resulted in a tumultuous riot of just clothes flying left and right into the sky. like that there's variety in my game. A majority of the side missions are just goofy tasks, so you get money from within completion. One task, I was taking responsibility of taking pictures of a couple ads in AKIBA. The objective gives you a location and the name of the storefront. It took me 10 minutes to figure out where the soft map building was located on this tiny strip because the storefronts are all in Japanese. By coincidence, I decided to sell some of my items in the store, and oh my god, the illustration of the NPC vendor is wearing a soft map shirt. After completion, we give the photos to our guy and he just creams his jeans. After saving all that money, I decided to upgrade my trusty baseball bat and shirt, granting me the Alchemist achievement. Now whenever I walk around, the NPCs call me the Alchemist. It's a neat feature where the stronger you get, NPCs start recognizing you and your achievements, and they start commenting about you. Pretty simple, neat detail. I like when games do that. That gets a point. After completing like a shit ton of side activities, which revolve around harassing people or just yelling at them, finally faced the greatest challenge of all. The man who started it all, that caused this chaos of just stripping and public indecency. Who is this guy anyway? He's like the goonster. We beat his androgynous ass not once but twice, filled with in-engine in-game cutscenes. 10 out of 10. Peak, blow GTA 6 out the water right now.
If you please.
Not possible! Don't think this means you've won!
I personally decided to conclude my journey because my dopamine receptors aren't receptive to anything in this game now. I've been stripping people naked for 4 hours right now, and I feel like it should be classified as brain rot. I think this game is pretty neat. It's over the top, and the concept is ridiculous. Apparently, this was originally a PS Vita game, and it don't look too bad. Technically, being an anime hentai game, at first I was hating on the game. I wasn't gonna give it a chance. Plus, it ain't too bad in the gooner levels. I simply went in with open mind and ended up having fun. A lot of negative reviews aren't even about the game itself. It's mostly the weebs whining about the word trap being censored or replaced in the Twitter portion of the game. Couldn't find any proper comparison videos on what was censored. That sucks, but there's more important things to complain about. Pulling off the boxing gloves, I decided to hit the power button and go to sleep forever. And that'll be the last game I've ever played. Knock on wood, I hope not. I hope not. I want to live to 1,000.